and welcome to another episode of Memphis on the Mark. I am Mark Jones. I am your host, and today our guest is Tracee Comfort.
Hey.
Hey, Tracee,
Good
welcome.
to see you, Mark.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, it's great to be invited.
Well, I'm very glad you could be here.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the audience may or may not know, but you were on my little soap opera.
I know. I don't think that's a very well-kept secret. I loved that soap. I'm a big soap fan.
Me too.
Yeah, I know. I see you always post cool facts about soap operas and history. A little known fact about me, I was actually an ABC daytime intern back in the day when I was living in New York.
Really?
So I got to walk around the sets of One Life to Live every once in a while. It was kind of a cool perk.
I'm totally jealous.
Well, that's okay. It was an awesome gig.
And this could be our episode now. And scene.
That's everything. We could just talk about soaps the rest of the time.
Right. Wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Now, when were you in New York?
So I went to NYU for my grad school program. I went to the dramatic writing program as a Dean's Fellow.
Wow.
And it's a triple threat program that you can focus on TV, theater, and film. So that was my first exposure. Went in as a playwright and then got exposed to the film world.
Right.
And then lo and behold, years later, now I'm a producer at an independent film in Memphis, and I'm enjoying it. It's been a long, windy road, but it's been very rewarding.
It sounds like it. And one of your stops more recently from New York now is in New Orleans.
That's right.
And
so,
you're a fellow?
I am. I'm a Southern Producers Lab fellow this year. I was really honored to be selected in this class. It's a small cohort, it's 13 or less of us, and we gathered in New Orleans in March and then traveled to Los Angeles in June to network with networks like Disney and NBC Universal. We met with executives from Amazon.
Nice.
So they rolled out the red carpet for us. I tell you, it's one of the best professional development program I've probably been a part of.
Were you the only person from Memphis?
I am the only person from Memphis this year, yeah, and I'm on the narrative side. There were a lot of documentary filmmakers who were presenting their work.
Okay.
So it was a great experience because we were able to focus on film financing, and, sales and distribution.
Right.
We had people who are just titans in the industry come in to tell us about their experience as being producers. The program is great because there's 4 emerging producers of diversity within the South specifically.
Right.
So that's what's great. It's people from Maryland and Texas and North Carolina and Memphis, Tennessee, who are all trying to break into this business and have sustainable careers. And us getting advice from Sundance Institute, ITVS, and some of the networks I mentioned before, people who are really looking at the ecosystem of where to make films and who's making great content. Because as we know, there's going to be an explosion in the streaming industry this year and next year and beyond.
Apparently any idiot can get their own YouTube show.
Well, I don't know. I think they are handing those out. But you still got to make great content to make people watch, right?
Well, that is true.
So that's the part of the digital democracy that I love, that there's so many people now who are getting into this industry, whether they have the MFA degree or not, whether they just love films and filmmaking or working as a team, because as we know, film's a team sport.
Sure.
So you got to have the best people in order to win. So
that's very true.
That's where we all want to try to make a great film.
And it's very correct. And you are doing a lot of producing now in Memphis. You've been doing a lot of short films.
Yeah, really blessed to be a part of a city like Memphis that has so many great people behind the scenes, like the people who are making your show, who are great cinematographers, great directors, we have wonderful actors here on top of that. So, and beautiful locations. So you really can't go wrong making a movie in Memphis, Tennessee. We just really have amazing talent here who the world needs to see.
Exactly. I totally agree. What are some of the, let's talk about some of the short films that you have produced here, because they've done very well. They've gotten accepted to the Memphis Film Prize. Have gone on to Indie Memphis, I think.
Absolutely. So our last film, Mea Culpa, was a top 10 finalist at Memphis Film Prize this year, 2019. And then last year, our film, Minority, was a winner for Best Narrative Hometowner Short at Indie Memphis. We're pretty excited about that one. And it's been great. I have a team of people, Jason Farmer, Alicia Edwards, Will Robbins, people from Nashville and Memphis and everywhere coming together to make movies here in Memphis, because that's one of the requirements of Memphis Film Prize.
Correct.
Is to make a short, usually 10 minutes or under, and obviously about something that's really going to capture your attention.
Sure.
And what we've decided to do with this kind of anthology series is kind of how we're looking at it is we're talking about different issues of race in America. And so it's a lot to discuss. So we just try to take these little bites, these little nuggets that get people talking about what's happening topically in America and in race relations. And really what moves us as artists, whether it's something that's in the news, we just try to be inspired by the world.
That's right. Yeah. Now, I know Minority has gotten into different film festivals.
Absolutely,
have you traveled to some of the film festivals with it?
Well, and Will is really doing any of the traveling. Okay. So Will Robbins, our director out of Nashville, he does a lot of the traveling for that film. And behind the scenes, I try to do as much promotion as I can. But I'm also, on the ground floor. One of my favorite stories about Minority is you literally can make a movie. Trust me, in 3 hours, an hour, whatever you have. By the time we got onto set and making Minority, I think we had about an hour and a half. By the time we loaded in, we were in a working gas station.
Yeah, you ran a convenience store.
We were in a real gas station that did not close for business while we were making this movie.
Really?
And then Will sets up, and we have someone who's working with us as an assistant director, and then we look, and there's no one to hold the boom. So guess what? When you're an indie producer, sometimes it's you, and in that case, it was me. So I'm back there somewhere.
I understand. Listen, there's a photo of me when we made Eli Parker's Getting Married. I'm the writer and the producer, and I am literally waist deep in lake water holding the canoe.
That's right.
Where the actors are, and there's a boat over here shooting, and that's what the writer's doing and the producer. Because when you make an independent film, even though you may have a set role, especially if you're a producer, you may be in lake water, or you may be doing this, or in the parking lot, or doing something in the background, or holding the boom.
That's right.
Well, let me ask you, so Rosalyn is at the front of the gas station, at the cash register. Were people coming and going? What time did y'all shoot this?
We ended up shooting, I think, close to when we started rolling, it was probably about 9. We were supposed to be out by 10. So it was one of those wonderful moments where it was everyone, that's why I said everyone has to be on their game. When you're making an independent film, you have no budget, and someone has gotten you this location basically out of a favor.
Sure.
So you got to be out. You got to be packed up and out in a certain amount of time. That's why it takes real pros like Ross.
Oh my gosh.
Probably Memphis' greatest actress.
I'm
not going to make other people mad. There's some wonderful talent here, but she is the MVP probably of Film Prize in Indie Memphis. She is such a consummate professional, obviously beautiful to film, and just knows how to get it done. With no words, she's able to just be a wonderful actor, and
she is.
That's what's really great to work with people like her.
Well, and she was in a great film. We another episode we have Drew Fleming on, and he made a film. He shot her in, gosh, can't think of the name of the movie, but the movie that won. It was all just one take.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's Kevin Brooks' project.
Kevin Brooks.
This is amazing. I can't wait to work with him.
Drew
in the future.
was cinematographer, but just shot her as a graceful, all one take. 10-minute, 12-minute film.
You got somebody that great on camera. Just turn the camera on
and I am
you're set.
Been very fortunate. I don't know why she returns my phone calls, but she has been in 2 of my films.
So she's the MVP. What can I say?
She's great.
Absolutely.
Just great. You're also, it's really exciting. Indie Memphis started last year, the Black Creators Forum.
That's correct, yeah.
And you're part of the team that put that on last year, and you're involved this year.
Yes,
correct?
Absolutely.
What are the dates this year?
We're coming back, so look forward to more information about Black Creators Forum. Go to indiememphis.com.
Right.
But I believe we're starting on October 30th, so go ahead and get your passes for Indie Memphis. I think they've got some great discounts right now. But really, again, Black Creators Forum was created to be a safe place for Black artists to come together and talk about the things that are happening for us and to us in the industry of film. Things that we need to talk about, the history of cinema, whether it was an important artist's work, whether it's film critique. There are just so many specific things that, as Black artists, we want to be together having this conversation where we're not getting shouted down from the back of the room by tangential arguments.
Also, if I understand correctly, is a lot of these are closed sessions. So you don't have some dumb white guy like me saying, "Well, no, wait a minute. I remember on Good Times they did this, Jimmy Walker." I mean, but it's
like, well, I liked Good Times.
Good Times is great. Yeah, I mean, it's no Sanford and Son.
Well, I like that too.
Or the Jeffersons. But I digress.
Come on, we can do this all day. Those are some great shows.
1970s Black sitcoms.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Perhaps better than the ones I have on today. But
I don't know. Blackish is a winner. That's a great show.
Good show. But my point is, it is a lot of times it is only Black people in the room and having honest and real, from what I hear, honest and real conversations.
Absolutely, and I think what we're doing is we're just creating opportunity, and that's what's been great about working, with Black Lens Productions. Jason Farmer was wonderful to bring this idea as a board member. Yeah, this was his baby. He's been talking about this for years. Then joined the board of Indie Memphis, and then together with our artistic director Miriam Bale, they've been able to craft this wonderful program, bringing together Hollywood heavy hitters with this grassroots sort of approach to bringing Black artists from all over the world. I mean, we're talking about we flew in filmmakers from California and Germany and places, here and there in order to come together. Last year we had a pitch rally where one person was able to take home $10,000 to help start, to do their film in Memphis. And from what I understand, that production is now starting.
Nice.
And Dave Godbat was our winner last year. And so we're excited to see the kind of work that he's going to do coming out of this wonderful opportunity with the Black Creators Forum.
That's right. And last year you had Boots Riley.
Yeah, Boots Riley was our keynote. So we started off with a bang. Sorry to bother you is a pretty amazing film. So we were really lucky to have him come talk about filmmaking.
And he was there for several days of the festival, and he was so approachable.
So approachable. I mean, he literally walked in. He walked in before we knew he had arrived in town. He just kind of wandered in and was like, "Oh, I just wanted to see what was up." It's just like,
nice.
You're like a major Hollywood director now.
And just kind of walking
around.
It's
just the most down to earth, cool, funny person. And we could both get amazing fashion tips from him because he always looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, you're exactly right.
Pretty incredible person.
Where will the majority of the Black Creators Forum be this year?
Yeah, I think we're going to be headquartered back at Hattie Lou. So, we have our street party kind of, effect that we like to do at Indie Memphis. So thank God that we have this wonderful kind of theater district that's being built now in Memphis so that you can go from Playhouse if there's an event, you can go to Hattie Lou, you can go to Circuit. There's so much to do the weekend of Indie Memphis. And we definitely hope that Black Creators Forum is a part of the weekend of Indie Memphis.
Well, it is
for anyone to come.
It's a great event, and it's great that Indie Memphis, and like you said, Jason Farmer, all praise to him.
Visionary, a real visionary here in Memphis. And
very much a visionary.
Yeah, absolutely. He's brought he brings a wealth of talent just from, he knows so many people in the city and is so connected and has this passion for creating an ecosystem of filmmaking here in Memphis. And that's part of what he wants to do with Black Lens Productions is, again, convince these major networks and things like that we're meeting at Southern Producers Lab and say, hey, why don't you come shoot your next film here? Hey, why don't you stay and shoot Bluff City Law here in Memphis, and your next season, and your next pilot, and your next feature, and that it starts from people on the ground making these decisions and investments in filmmakers here in Memphis.
That's right.
And then the ripple effect from that can be stunning.
Well, there was a Netflix movie shot last year, I think called Uncorked.
Uncorked, I think it was a Courtney B. Vance project, maybe.
I
think so.
But it's a the main character, or the entire, I don't know, it's an African-American fellow.
Yeah, exciting. And that's what's so great about what's happening, I think. And, back in the day, it used to be like, you knew Mark, or you knew Sarah Fleming, or you knew, Laura Jean, and it was like a little pool, and now the pool's so big.
Thank you for putting me on the same level of Sarah Fleming and Laura Jean. Thank you for mentioning my name and their name in the same breath.
Well, you got to throw Craig Brewer in there, too.
Well, Craig Brewer, obviously, is the man. But
absolutely. But it's great that the pool is, bigger now. There's room at the table for so many people.
Yes.
Like we said, so many people getting into the film industry. It's very exciting because what we want to do is we want people to be working in film full time in Memphis. And the more light that we can shed, the more Boots Rileys and NBC Universals that we can have doing projects here, the more that becomes a reality for people to be living and working in the city of Memphis and making a living creating art.
Well, Rosalyn is a great example. I think she's gotten a little bit of a gig or something on the NBC show.
Yeah,
but
she's a star in the making for sure.
In all sorts of short films and movies. Indie films here in Memphis, and the more work she can get, and every actor and every actress can get, the better off we are.
That's right. You want that multiplier effect of what happens when we shoot a movie here, and it affects neighborhoods around where your location is, and helps shine a light on your city, and it really does. That's stuff that we need to remember is why it's important to make your film.
Exactly, exactly. Anything in the upcoming future besides the Black Forum? Anything in the?
Yeah, Tracee might be dipping her toe into the documentary world, which is, I'm coming from a place of yes in my life now. So before I would have been like, that's really scary. But now I'm really, looking at some projects that could be, really interesting about some historical, venues around town. Really? I'm not going to give too much away.
Okay.
But, I think there's some exciting, programs. We have a great relationship. I know Indie Memphis has a great relationship with Tribeca. Right. And, for those who are doing the If Then doc shorts program, I think, hopefully they will get a filmmaker from Memphis who is going to be participating in that. But I'm very excited about potentially getting into some doc work, but definitely continuing narrative and doing more writing and producing in the future.
Oh, good. That's good.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Well, now I'm going to do something I call Moments with Mark.
Awesome.
All right. Today on Moments with Mark, I'm going to address something that's happened with Memphis in May. No, I'm not talking about Tom Lee Park and all that debacle. Memphis in May has selected for their 2020 country to honor Ghana. And Ghana has a horrific legacy on gay rights, and it's ugly. And I'm just saying, I'm not asking Memphis in May to change countries for next year, because they won't. But I'm just saying, in the future, Memphis in May cannot honor another country that's got a bad track record on LGBTQ rights like Ghana. It's an embarrassment. And it's really not fair to all the gay and lesbian and transgender and queer and bisexual folks here in Memphis. And I did a little research on the line. And let me just say, I'm not implying that any staff member at Memphis in May or any board member or any of the volunteers have anything but love in their heart for their fellow queer person in Memphis. I am sure they all have pure hearts and pure minds, but there's been a mistake that you cannot honor a country that's got such horrific legacy on gay rights like Ghana. And I think I read online that they're actually they send kids from Memphis, I don't know if they're just high school, if they're college, to the Memphis in May country. So is Memphis in May really going to send some flamboyant gay kid to Ghana? Is it going to be safe for that person? Is Jim Holt going to pack heat and protect this kid? I don't know. I think that's a very, very fair question. And Jim Strickland, you are mayor right now, and this looks bad on you. I know you don't select the countries, but you are currently the mayor of Memphis, and you may be the mayor back next May. It doesn't look good, Mayor Strickland, and it's a bad mark for Memphis. Again, not asking anyone to change it. Again, I am sure Jim Holt and everyone at Memphis in May, all the volunteers have love in their hearts for their fellow gay person, but you can't do this again. Please respect all the LGBTQ people in Memphis and select positive countries in the upcoming future. Tracee, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
You. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Better sit down. I got some news. Well, I'm getting